What's up, guys? Here today, we're going to go through our last NFL futures pick with our NFL player props. Moving forward, we're going to get more into our weekly picks against the spread, so be on the lookout for that. In addition, I'm going to put out a playlist coming up soon talking about my free money picks. That's me talking about financial arbitrage using the promotions that companies like DraftKings and FanDuel give out, so you guys can make money without risking a dime and just keep adding money to your bank account and improving your profits. So keep a lookout for that. But today we're going to do our last video with the player props, and let's get started.
All right, we'll jump right into it. My first pick, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor, regular season rushing yards over 1,175 yards. So this is actually only 6 more yards than he had last year. He hit that mark, and he only played 15 games. So he just missed 1 game, but this year he'll have 2 extra to get those extra 6 yards. Additionally, Marlon Mack is coming off a torn Achilles, so he's just not going to be as nearly as effective. This is now Jonathan Taylor's backfield. You're also going to pair that with a top 3, third overall ranked by Pro Football Focus offensive line. They're definitely going to be able to run the ball. Yeah, Quentin Nelson, probably the best guard in the whole league.
He's the best lineman in the league. This guy is insane. He's been in the league for like 3 years. I don't know if he's ever let up a sack. He just dominates who's ever across the football from him. I love watching this guy play.
Yeah. This Colts team is going to be fun to watch. They're definitely going to be winning games too. They have a great defense, so I expect them to be running out the clock at times in the fourth. They got a weak division, so I expect Jonathan Taylor to run all over the Texans and the Jags. Those should be
and the Titans too. The Titans defense sucks.
They're going to run over everybody in their own division.
This is going to be one of the most run-heavy teams in the NFL, just based on the strength of their own line and the lack of their talent at QB. With it was Jacob Eason starting or Carson Wentz being banged up, they're going to want to lean on the run game, keep their quarterbacks healthy, and not making bad decisions. You can make the argument that because teams know they're going to be running the ball, they might be stacking the box. But I think because the Colts have such a good O-line and you guys are so talented and they've been doing this scheme for a long time, this run-heavy scheme, that Jonathan Taylor will be just fine.
Yeah, they're going to run it till you stop them. They're not going to call audibles at the lines. Jacob Eason. Also, Carson Wentz is on the COVID list. So I expect Jonathan Taylor to have a huge first week. Expect him to play well throughout the entire season, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
We'll jump to the next one. This one's actually my favorite pick. I like this one a little bit more than the Jonathan Taylor pick. So Corey Davis had 984 receiving yards last year on the Titans, which blows past this over already. And that was when he was a wide receiver 2 behind A.J. Brown, also in a run-heavy offense on the Titans.
Derrick Henry running the ball 20-plus times a game.
Yeah, he didn't have as many opportunities. And so he hit over this mark by over about like 150, 160 yards, and he missed 2 games last year to COVID, and he also had 2 games without any receptions. So there's 4 games out of 16 just gone. So in 12 games, he went over this mark by 160 yards. He gets an additional game this year. I don't see how this looks like an absolute lock to me. I know you can never say that because barring injury or anything, but in 2017, his rookie year. He had faced a ton of injuries, but he's been fairly clean since then. He hasn't missed much. Also, in this preseason, he's only ran 13 routes, and Zach Wilson's targeted him 10 times on those routes. So Zach Wilson seems to love the chemistry they have. He's his go-to option. He's going to get plenty of opportunities with the Jets playing from behind. They're going to be airing it out. They only have like Tevin Coleman and Michael Carter in the backfield. I don't expect them to have too effective of a run game. I really expect Corey Davis to blow past his number and hit 1,000 yards on the year.
Yeah, rookie quarterbacks seem to always establish connection and latch on to one receiver, in favor of one receiver more than the others, just because they have that connection early on. It seems like Corey Davis is going to be that guy for Zach Wilson. So I like this one a lot too.
All right, move on.
But I like is Kyle Pitts over 800 yards receiving. I feel like this one for a lot of reasons, most specifically because this guy is just an athletic freak, a generational talent. This dude is 6'6" and runs a 4.4440. What I imagine him like is like a mix between Megatron and Jimmy Graham. Just a tall guy that can just run the field. He's going to win the jump ball opportunities. He's going to be the quarterback's favorite for underneath routes, with Kevin really taking the top off the field and taking the safety out of the play. He's on a Falcons team, a lot like the Dallas Cowboys situation. They have a terrible defense. They're going to be playing from behind a lot, and they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Or tight ends in Matt Ryan's teams, no matter who they are, and throughout all the rotation he's had, they've always seen success, no matter who they are. And Kyle Pitts is probably talented than all of them, with the exception maybe Tony Gonzalez. So
Yeah, I mean, just to add on that, Matt Ryan made Austin Hooper arguably the best tight end in the NFL a couple seasons ago. He's been pretty irrelevant since then, but Austin Hooper was statistically a top 3 tight end when he was on the team a couple years ago under Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan's also quietly been a top 10, top 15 quarterback statistical wise the last few seasons. He really gets the job done. The defense is just terrible.
they got no defense. I mean, everyone's gonna be keying on Calvin Ridley, who's like projected to lead the league in yards this year, and he still could, but he's gonna be flying down the field. The safety's gonna be looking to hit him all day, keying on him, and the underneath routes are gonna be open for Kyle Pitts. And then with his athleticism being 6'6", 240, he's gonna be breaking a lot of tackles, and I expect a lot of yards after the catch for him as well. I think 800 is a number that you give to a tight end. I think Kyle Pitts is going to play more like a wide receiver in the system. You're going to line him up on the line. No linebackers should be able to guard him. If you line him up off the line, he's way too big for a DB. He's just a matchup nightmare, and I'm really excited to watch this guy play. I think a lot of people are too.
And then,
now, this is my favorite bet. I think, and out of all the videos we've made and all the picks I've given, this one is by far my favorite. Chase Young is going to get over 8.5 sacks this year. In his rookie season, Chase Young had 7.5, and he missed 2 games. So he was averaging over a half sack a game, which is basically what he needs to do here in a 17-game season. But if you look at this chart next, I expect this guy to just increase his production so much in the second year, as most good DNs do. I basically thought about who are some of the best defensive ends in the league, and who can I think of that's pretty good at rushing the passer. I'm going to see what they did from year 1 to year 2. How did their output and sacks change? Every single one of them increased sacks from year 1 to year 2 by at least 2 sacks. So remember, Chase Young at 7.5, he only needs 8.5 this year. And you can see the average is a way bigger increase than 2 sacks a year. These great DNs are increasing their sack total by about an average of 7 sacks in a given season. So you can see the learning curve for DN takes 1 year, and these guys start to figure it out. I think a lot of it is just getting stronger, getting to NFL strength, but also adjusting to NFL speed as well. But I think this graph is a great example of showing how these guys really start to figure it out their second year after their rookie season. And if you haven't learned by now, if you don't know already, you're going to learn pretty quickly that I love data and love looking at graphs like this to try to predict my bets. I think something like this is a great predictor of showing that how if you're a good defensive end, you're going to make that leap from year 1 to year 2. I really think that Chase Young's a lot better than just a good defensive end. And I think he's got a huge year this year with at least 10 sacks. So I'm throwing a lot of money on Chase Young this year. And it wouldn't be a professional picks video if we didn't have a Washington football team pick. So we had to throw something in there for you guys.
I really didn't want to have to throw the entire house on the Washington football team this year.
Every video, Washington football team, baby.
The numbers here don't lie. Like Chase Young already won rookie defensive player of the year. Clearly all the best D linemen have see a great increase in sacks. I didn't want to take this pick, but after looking at the numbers, you got to at least put it.
You got to sprinkle some money on it. I'm going to put more than 1 unit on it, believe me. But that's what they call a Woj bomb in the industry, Sliwa. A 5-unit pick, baby.
All right, here we go.
5 units on Chase Young over 8.5 sacks. If he's playing all 17 games this year, this is a lock of a lock of a lock. There's no chance. And I hope I don't look back on this and eat my words and look like an idiot. But I'm putting the house on Chase Young over 8.5 sacks. I also really like Kyle Pitts because I just think he's just too much of an athlete in too much of a pass-heavy system. They're running backs like Mike Davis. They're not running the ball down 30 every game. You know, they're going to be throwing at Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts all day long.
Yeah, and remember this, guys. This is the first Woj bomb of the year.
Woj bomb, baby. 5-unit pick.
Yeah. And then for my picks, I really like Jonathan Taylor still to go over the 1,175.5 rushing yards. For the reasons stated before, Marlon Mack's not going to be nearly as effective. He's old too, coming off of a torn Achilles.
It's a tough injury to bounce back from.
Yeah. The guy's just been a workhorse, Jonathan Taylor. I definitely expect him to increase his rushing yards from last year. And then Corey Davis is my favorite pick. I would honestly maybe even bump this up to 3 units. He hit this mark last year in less favorable conditions. it really comes down if he gets injured, and he hasn't faced a significant injury since his rookie year. Seems like he's really starting to learn how to take care of his body, avoid big hits, just stay in the game. And he's still hit over this mark and playing only 12 games last year. He's going to get 5 more games. Like
producing in 12 games because you got those 2 games.
Oh, right. Yeah. But two missed with COVID.
We count those as 0
right.
games.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah. So played 14 games last year. That's 3 more. He's just going to get the opportunities. Clearly, he's getting a massive percentage of the target share.
Yeah.
I love this pick. But just don't forget to bet on that Woj bomb.
You got to bet on Chase Young. Put something on him. You're going to regret it if you don't. Guaranteed.
As always, thank you guys for listening. Remember to like and subscribe. And
watch out for my free money videos. That's if you're going to watch one video that I put out or one series of videos, it's the free money. These bets that we're telling you have risk. The ones I'm going to be telling you later do not. There's no chance you cannot make money on them. Give them a watch.
Yeah. So look out for the free money, and we got NFL games starting in 10 days. Stay tuned for our we're excited weekly picks. That's really what we're going to be focusing on. That's what we've been building up towards. Yeah. We hope you guys are ready.
I'm pumped.
All right. Thank you.
Be sure to tune in then.